you have a great product, customers are loving it, ships on time, priced right, reliable, but your revenue needle is not moving. You're frustrated, your team is frustrated, you've tried to figure out how do I get off this flatlined revenue, right? Here's what I see all the time. Our customers are mixing the pre-sale tasks and the post-sale tasks in the same conversation, right? You're trying to think about marketing and sales and order fulfillment and manufacturing capacity all together, and it paralyzes everyone, right? And when everything's tangled together, nothing's moving forward.
Quick story about a factory we worked with. They were making a commodity consumer product. All those qualities of, priced right, the buyers loved it, but revenues were flatlining. So we looked at their product and the production process and said, man, this is great. All you have to do is tweak the product a little bit to open a whole new market. Add a little design element. It'll cost a little more. You can raise your price a little bit, and you'll access a market much bigger. Factory owners resisted. Why? Because they didn't really understand this slight difference and how adding cost would, not kill sales. They would, not know. They were nervous about, different sales tools and a different approach to sales and marketing, how the costs would pay for themselves. But where it got really tricky is that they kept mixing pre-sale and post-sale in the same sentence, right? We'd be talking about marketing and product presentation, and they'd be like, "But what if we get a really big order, and then wouldn't lead times, shoot up through the roof? And what's going to happen to the margins?" They couldn't focus on one without getting confused by the other, right? So I separated the two, and I said, let's just simply think about your business like a restaurant. In a restaurant, you have the dining room, you have the kitchen. Dining room is pre-sale, you have the waiter greeting the guests, explaining the menu, taking the order. That's marketing, sales, product presentations. And then you have the kitchen, that's post-sale. Post-sale, the chef prepares the food after the waiter takes the order. But of course, the chef has to plan the menu way ahead, buy the vegetables long before the waiter takes the order. But anyway, all of that in the kitchen, that's manufacturing, logistics, capacity planning. You need both, but you can't plan both at the same time with the same people in the same sentence, right? Once they understood that, everything changed. We worked on pre-sale and post-sale simultaneously, but as separate projects, right? I focused one group on the pre-sale, marketing, branding, sales presentations, etc. I focused another group on post-sale, how to fulfill orders to new customers, more customers, much higher revenue base, which was their strength, right? Order fulfillment and manufacturing. And once they saw how we helped them plan their post-sale process, respecting their ability, they trusted us to plan and execute the pre-sale because that's our strength, right? The result, we had committed to $10 million additional revenues, getting from 12 to 23 million in 3 years. We delivered $14 million in 3 years. Today, they still keep doing it. We're still in touch, obviously, and they still keep separating religiously the pre-sale and the post-sale. Today, they're over $100 million of revenue with this simple framework. I call it the chef and the waiter framework, right? Pre-sale, dining room, marketing, sales, branding. Kitchen is post-sale, manufacturing, logistics, order fulfillment. The rule here is plan both separately with different groups, execute them simultaneously. Don't let the chef be the waiter. Each task is critical. Each task, is half of a circle. One no good without the other. If your product is great, but the revenue is not moving, you're stuck, the revenue needle is stuck, you're probably mixing pre-sale and post-sale activities. Stop doing that, right? Separate the dining room from the kitchen. Plan both, plan separately, execute simultaneously. If you need help thinking through this pre-sale, post-sale framework, comment below or DM me. Let's figure out where you're stuck and let's get the revenue needle moving again.